Here's your word for the day from Calvary in Lake Havasu. Visit us on the web at calvaryaz.com.
Hey Calvary, this is Coral with the Women's Ministry team, and I'm here with your word for the day. So today we are moving into Mark chapter 3, and we're going to be looking at verses 1 through 6. And it's here we find Jesus in the synagogue. It's the Sabbath, and he encounters a man who needs healing. And, of course, the Pharisees. So let's dive in to verse 1 and take a look. So it says, "Again he entered the synagogue, and a man was there with a withered hand. And they watched Jesus to see whether he would heal him on the Sabbath, so that they might accuse him. And he said to the man with the withered hand, 'Come here.' And he said to them, 'Is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do harm, to save a life or to kill?' And they were silent." So let's just stop here for a second and see why. Let's explore why Jesus asked the Pharisees a question. Because one, he's a teacher, and he was trying to bring something to their attention, and that is their hardness of heart. You see, the Pharisees were this group of religious leaders that adhered strictly to the Old Testament law. And they liked to add to that Old Testament law with their traditions and their man-made rules. And in fact, we see in Matthew chapter 23, verse 4, that they heap these burdens onto people with their traditions and with their laws, hundreds of them. And they never lifted a hand to help people. They didn't love people. And that's what Jesus was exposing when he asked them that question. So what happens next? Well, let's pick back up in verse 5. Verse 5 starts, "And he looked around at them with anger, grieved at their hardness of heart, and said to the man, 'Stretch out your hand.' And he stretched it out, and his hand was restored. The Pharisees went out immediately, held counsel with the Herodians against him on how to destroy him." So the point Jesus was trying to make is that it's never a violation of God's law to do good. The Bible is our rule book, and Jesus is the person we are supposed to follow. He tells us to love one another. We can't go wrong doing that. When we do, we really pile burdens onto people that are unnecessary, and sometimes we delay their finding that true relationship with Jesus Christ. So instead of adhering to man-made rules, we should always remember to love one another, to help one another, just like Jesus did. He always had compassion, and he always had love, and so should we. Thanks, Calvary, and have a great day.